Go to Markie here. This is one of my favourite series because I do lots of little ongoing series on this channel. You may not even realise that, but that's what I do. And if you want to follow the series, you can check out the playlists. Go on the playlist, you'll find them all. And sometimes there are series within series, and sometimes there are crossovers between different series where I talk about two things that both relate to a different series, and they cross over. It's all very exciting. So this series is pretty more aimed at like-minded pedants who enjoy me ranting about the bad use of English, but it could equally be enjoyed and used by people who are looking to seriously improve their English, particularly spoken English, and people that speak English as a foreign language and want to get to expert level. So yes, don't take this lightly, even though often it's quite a tongue-in-cheek kind of series. Mainly me ranting about things. So what particularly annoys me with language is just the way people copy things sheepishly, whether they make sense or not, and people will copy things that don't make sense and then trot them out, and it just drives me absolutely nuts. So one thing I've noticed, not a lot, but a little bit lately, and I'm wondering if it could be part of a trend, I really hope not, is the misuse of the words graphic and explicit, okay, in a particular context. So the words graphic and explicit usually, or very often, are used to refer to material content that often visual. It can be written material. So if something is graphic, so if an account of an atrocity is graphic. So graph means picture, so it means it's painting a picture. It's really in your face. It's very clear. It's not pulling any punches. It's giving you probably some detail and some detail about things which might not be nice to hear or to see. So graphic material. And explicit is used in very much the same way. So explicit is the opposite of implicit. So if something is implicit, it means it's kind of so it's in. So you've got in means in, and ex means out, really. So you've got introvert and extrovert, for example. An introvert is kind of somebody that's more focused within themselves, and an extrovert is more focused externally. Okay, so something that's explicit is in your face. It's explained. Think of the word explain. So it's out there. Yeah. So it can have the same meaning as graphic, but or it can be a synonym for graphic, but it has its own different set of meanings as well. So something that's implicit is implied, is suggested. Okay, so hinting, something where you have to read between the lines, something where you use a euphemism. You don't actually come out and say the full extent of what's you're trying to convey. You kind of say enough for the viewer or listener or audience to get the idea. With explicit, you explain it. It's out there. It's in their face. Out there, literally. Is that literally? Maybe not. That's another video I've done about misusing the word literally. So where I've heard use these words, seen these words misused very recently, is people have used them to describe shocking, harrowing, unpleasant, potentially disturbing content. They said so the context was somebody was talking about a crime, and they said yes, the crimes that this woman committed were extremely graphic. In fact, both instances were used to describe a crime. One was on YouTube. One was actually a professional connection, because I work in crime. I don't usually talk about that, but I do. I work in a part of my work involves a forensic setting. So what both people meant was that the content was what happened was pretty horrible. Really, that's what they were saying. explicit refers not to the content, and graphic refers not to the content, but how the content is conveyed and expressed and shared. So if I saw a car accident or what have you, and I said to you, "Oh, I walked past a car accident and it was horrible," all I'll say is that, I didn't want to eat for the rest of the day. That's me being implicit. That's not as me not being graphic. If I said I went to an accident and there were arms and legs all over the road and trails of bodily fluids and blah 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 blah, that's explicit. That's graphic. It's not about what happened. It's the same car crash, but it's how you describe it. So there you go. That's the point I wanted to make. I hope you heed this lesson, and I never want any of you to make that mistake again. Is that okay? And if you do, you'll have me to answer to. Yes. So thank you for watching. Please remember to hit the like button. Please remember to subscribe and hit the little bell so you get a little notice when we produce more stuff like this, or stuff that's completely different. Subscribe, help us by signing up on Patreon. This is a channel with a serious purpose, even though some of our content is less than serious. We're actually, we have a mission, we have something, important in the world that we want to do and achieve. And if you want to help us with that, we're really grateful, really appreciate it. So thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Rangimarie.